So today we're going to talk about why is homeowner insurance in Florida such a disaster. And basically I want to tell you welcome back to my channel. And our topic today, it's a very important topic that's affecting everybody in the state of Florida. Why is home insurance such a disaster in the state of Florida? We're going to be discussing this alarming trend because homeowners are having a hard time, especially people who buy used home are having a hard time insuring their homes. So ultimately, we need to go back and understand why Florida is so challenging. And a lot of it deals with all the hurricanes, the floods, basically that flood certain areas of Florida. Remember, you may get homeowners insurance that covers wind and the hurricane, but it doesn't cover flooding. So you have to get a separate flood policy in itself. Frequency, number two, the frequency and severity of these disasters, specifically like counties like Miami-Dade and Broward, insurance companies get flooded with claims. Basically, the cost of rebuilding and the repairs of insurance is just very, very alarming, and it's very costly. It's very hard sometimes to find contractors. Sometimes you pay the contractors, and that's a whole other story. In terms of you paying a contractor, they don't do the work, or you got to go after them. That's a whole other story. Then one of the things is the legislation and the specific guidelines in terms of trying to get more insurance to come over. Many big insurers like State Farm and other big insurers have stopped offering policies to their policyholders and have left the state. So that's a problem in itself. So, and then right now, because of the market volatility and the limited competition, because everything's going to citizens or startups as such, it's causing a very big problem, and it generally means you, the homeowner, is the one that's hit with the policy cost. So I think it's very important that we really discuss when you're looking to buy a home. And I'm always going to look at the home you're going to buy. I'm going to see if there's any mitigating problems with it. Through one of the first things we're going to do is a home inspection. And if there is, and if the home can't pass a wind mitigation, I may advise you to go to a different home. Depending on the area, if you're east of 95, you're going to pay a lot more money for insurance, because if you're in a flood-prone area, you're going to have to get flood insurance. And Florida's been hit with a lot of non-renewals. I mean, you file one insurance claim, whether it could be an auto claim or something related to maybe an auto theft or an auto burglary, which, in case you didn't know, if you have homeowners insurance, your car can get burglarized, and your auto insurance may only cover a very small portion, but your homeowner's insurance would cover it. However, I know, because I can speak from experience, I had an auto burglary about a couple years ago. I filed a claim with State Farm, boom, a month later, my insurance gets canceled, and I had to go to another carrier. As tough as this seems, it's what it is. And you're saying, well, but we've paid, we've never had a claim in 5, 6, 7 years, and all of a sudden we have a claim. That's the reality. So I have a lot of customers who, if we go to new construction, it's no problem because it's very easy to get insurance. There's very little problems with the house and otherwise. But if you're seeking to come to Florida and you come from other area where home insurance is far cheaper than it is Florida, actually at a fraction of the cost, then we need to discuss the home and the area you're going to move to. If you're going to move close to the beach, understand that you're going to probably pay a higher policy and you're going to need flood insurance. If you're going to move to Miami-Dade and you're going to live, which would be east of US 1, which is federal highway, then the likelihood is you're in a flood-prone area. You're going to have two kinds of insurances. Homeowners insurance with mitigation, and flood insurance, which is a separate policy in itself. Now, who's going to insure you? That's a really, really strong question. You definitely have Citizens, which is the state-funded back insurance. However, I don't want to talk negatively about any insurance company. They all have their issues. It's really important to understand that the first thing you need to do is you need to find a home. Property, investment, whatever it is. Then once you're ready, and that's the one you want to make the offer on, if it is a home that is 5 years or older, and I would say 5 years or older, you need to make sure, how old is the roof? How old are the things? How old is the electrical system? How old is the plumbing? If it's a 1970 home or beyond, was it cast iron? Is it PVC? That's important, because most of the time if it's cast iron, probably gonna have to replace the plumbing. But all these things are important in the home inspection, because this home inspection with the wind mitigation is what's going to help you get a less policy. You're gonna get less premium on your policy. So understand, all these things are really important. Look, one of the things I do when I'm helping a customer find a property or an investment, whether it's a home they're gonna live in or an investment, I walk the property before we make an offer, whether my customer can or cannot. Then I'm looking in the MLS to see if this property's been sold and what were the issues back when, if anything are listed. I'm gonna look at the seller disclosures. From there, I'm gonna see if any claims were filed on this particular house through public record, such as, I'll put in the address within Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach. You can put the address and you'll see all the recorded documents. If there was an NOC, which is a notice of commencement, I know some work was done on this house. And if it was, I want to look at it. I want to see if any violations have been put on this house. I want to see if any other specific problems are in this house. These are the things I do because I have the experience to do it. Mind you, I own an investigation company. It's owned it for 20 years. So I investigate things all day long. I happen to also be a real estate agent because I started in the business of real estate by investigating real estate. So I'm very in tune with insurance companies because they're the majority of my clients for my private investigative industry. So I understand it exceptionally well. I think I have a much higher understanding because I deal in legal issues and I've dealt with claimed history. So it's not that like I'm speaking from something I read, I'm speaking from experience. That you might buy a home, you might get an insurance carrier, and all of a sudden 5 years might not have a problem, but if you don't have the right carrier and you file a claim, you're gonna wish you had the right carrier when they're denying the claim. And then you're gonna have to get, a public adjuster, or you're gonna have to get an attorney. So I am trying to avoid all these problems by starting from the beginning. The purchase of the home, the purchase of the property, and giving you the right information. Florida has an insurance crisis. Whether you want to believe it or not, that's up to you. I'm only giving you the facts. The facts are that prior to buying that house, you need to investigate the property. And you need to do a very thorough home inspection. I'm not talking about a home inspection to get the property in. I'm talking about a home inspection that's going to find everything out about this property. Whether you have massive WDO damage, which means wind destructive objects, whether you have massive issues with the plumbing, massive issues with the electrical box isn't going to pass inspection. All these things are important for the overall 4-point inspection. I have a series of home inspectors that do all my inspections, whether it's in Northern Florida, Central Florida, or South Florida, where I specialize in. However, I help customers throughout the entire state of Florida with properties, investments, or homes. And as such, you need to have the right home inspector that's going to give it to me the way it is. I don't want it where it helps. I want it the way it is, where it's going to help you, my customer, not me with my commission. Forget about my commission. If I didn't help you, then I don't have a customer. I got a one-timer. I don't want a one-timer. I want a customer for life. So if you're looking for a realtor who's going to defend you, speak to me. I'm going to defend you from the very beginning by not putting you in a situation where you might get an insurance crisis because your insurance might be non-renewed after the year and then you have an insurance crisis. I have a problem with that because guess what? I'm the one that put you into that property. So I take extra precautions because of the insurance crisis that we have to make sure that the property you have is going to stay insured throughout the lifetime of your ownership. Once again, I want you to subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, great. If you don't like it, leave me a comment. Leave me a comment either way. My name is Danny Maya. I'm with eXp Realty. And I'm looking to do business with you. You have an amazing day out there.